Okay, what's up, guys? My name is TMossBoss, and I wanted to let you guys know about Anchor. Anchor is an app that you can download to record your podcast in the easiest way ever. Like, it doesn't require a whole lot to know. Like, you just pretty much press record and you just start doing your podcast and stuff. I don't know what you plan on doing, but you plan on doing something. That's why you're here. So, yeah, download Anchor, or you could go to their website, anchor.fm, and yeah, you could do it straight from your computer too. So yeah, it's easy. They distribute everything to they distribute your podcast to every streaming services like out there, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. Okay, and then you can monetize it, so you're making money off of what you love doing. All right, so people, make sure you do it. Make sure you download Anchor, or you go to their website, anchor.fm. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about taking a trip. Because I know that there's people out there, like, you might have been on road trips, but have you ever been, like, on a plane, like, taking a trip, like, those type of trips? Because that's what I'm going to mainly be talking about, because I know that there's people that I talk to, and they've told me, like, they've never been on an airplane, like, they've never been out of the state. I had to say, like, yeah, I've been out of the state. I've been to California, Nevada, like, why I sound like, I was trying to say, like, Nirvana, but I'm like, no, Nevada, like, Las Vegas, but yeah, I don't know, I felt like I should say Las Vegas, because I haven't been to, like, no other place, like, outside of Vegas, so, I've been to, like, different parts of California, then Las Vegas, been to Louisiana. Alright, so there's the first trip I took to Louisiana. We stopped off at Texas, and then we took another plane to get closer, or to get into Louisiana. And there was a plane that can take us to Louisiana, but we figured we actually no. Wait a second, is there any? No, there are airports in Louisiana, but I think it was cheaper to like stop off in Texas and things. But no, like the first, I don't know, like, it doesn't even really, like, you think about it, I need to ask my mom about that, like, why did we take a train, like, or take a plane to, Texas, and then took another plane to Louisiana, I gotta ask her about that, but anyways, no, like, that whole airport process, like, I wish I can just teleport to the places that I want to go to. That whole plane process, to me, like, I know that there's people, they love flying. They love traveling. There's people that I talk to at my job, like, they're constantly traveling and things. I'm like, bro, I don't know how y'all do it. Like, there's this one customer, I always talk to her, and she's always telling me how she's, like, taking these trips. Like, there's times where I, like, if I haven't seen her, I know where she's at. Like, I know, because she's then told me so many, like, she's taken so many trips. I think last trip she was telling me about is New York. Now, I would like to go out to New York, mainly to just check out, like, all the stores, especially the sneaker stores. But, man, that process, though, like, that's going to have to be a trip where I'm like, okay, I want to go on this trip. But right now, I'm like, nah, I just want to chill. I seriously just want to chill. Like, when my family brings up taking a trip, I'm like, oh, my God, like, now I gotta go through this process, prepare for it. I'm not even gonna be able to sleep that night because I want to sleep on the plane because I don't really I don't know. So, just telling you guys about, like, the whole trip, like, my traveling process. So, let's say I'm going on a trip to California. I'm going to Disneyland. So, my family, we take a morning flight. We don't take an afternoon flight. We take a morning flight. Get to the airport probably like 4 or 5 a.m. And then we had to get our boarding passes, stand in these long lines. Sometimes the lines ain't that bad. But, like, I don't know why. Like, I think the last time we went, the line was pretty bad. But before, I think the lines was okay, like, but there was still some people there. But I remember I think the time I remember, yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Like, Because no, we got in the wrong line, and so we had to get in this other long line. And yeah, honestly, it is serious. I'm like, this is so boring. Like, why? I'm like, man, why do people? Because this is what makes me upset. Because people want to get on planes and get on airports and like, or get into airports and start acting crazy. Like, that's why I'm like, man, like terrorists, I hate you guys with a strong, strong passion. Hate every last one of them. You make the flying process just so difficult. Like, I wish I could just walk onto the plane and just fly. Like, I wish it was like a bus, you know? And I'm like, man, like terrorists, I swear, don't just stop. Just that's all I gotta say about terrorists. Just stop, cause man, it's like there's like the screening thing. So yeah, we at airports, like if you go through a metal detector like anywhere else, like let's say for an example, you got a metal detector at your job. You probably just gotta empty your pockets, throw all the everything, and that's kind of like how it is in the airports too. But let's say if they do like a random checking. So you gotta stand on the side, all right, and then wait for them to do whatever they're gonna do, and then they're like repping all on your body and things, making sure you don't have any weapons. And I'm like, do I look like watch my YouTube videos? Because if you think that I'm suspicious, please just watch my videos. I want like every worker at an airport to watch my YouTube videos, just so you know that I am not a dangerous person, okay? I was just telling my coworker the other day how I was playing a scary video game and some little bugs or actually not even little, some giant bugs broke through a window and I started screaming, shooting a shotgun all over the place. Do you really think somebody like that will go to an airport and start acting crazy? Unless they kick me off the flight, then yeah, I'll probably be a little bit upset. And I'm like, yo, I went through this whole process of like, I think that's why people be so mad when they get kicked off of a flight. Because they're all like, what did I do? Like, seriously, like, I ain't even do it. Like, there's the one girl, she was, because no, there's times where there be just like people, they're not dangerous, but there be them old Tweety Bird grandmother types that be up on the planes and be all like, oh, They wearing something across their, like, they're wearing, like, those scarf-like things across their head. They must be a terrorist and things. I'm like, no. They're just trying to go this, like, do you really think somebody pulls something like that now with all the security that they got at airports? There's no way possible that something like that can be pulled off now. They probably got, like, police officers, like, or undercover cops on planes. They got undercover cops at airports. They got undercover cops outside of the airports. They probably got that stuff so locked down and secured, like, it's no way possible. So I'm like, for those people that be up on planes all like, oh, that passenger is, the way that they're dressed or the way that they look, they're scaring me, and I need them to be off the plane. Like, they're the main ones that shouldn't be flying. They are. That's never happened to me, but I think if it did, I'm like, that whoever it was I think those would be my words. I'm like, whoever it was that just kicked me off the plane, don't fly anymore. If this is going to be the process of random people when they're getting on the plane, don't fly anymore. Just don't. Because I'm like, seriously, I hate stories like that. I'm like, man, them people don't even be doing anything to anybody, and they just randomly get kicked off of a plane. It's the ones, that's what I'm like happy about, and I hope I never have to deal with somebody like that, or the ones where they just, like, they actually are crazy, and they start freaking out on the plane, and then they gotta do an emergency landing. I think if I ever had to deal with something like that where I had to do an emergency landing because a person decided to act crazy, yeah, I would be upset. I seriously would be upset. Be a good video, but as I'm like sitting down waiting to, like, you know, take off flying again, I'm like, yeah, I would be pretty upset. But anyways, back on what I have to do to travel and things. I feel like I ain't got so off subject and things, or off topic. But anyway, so we're getting in the airport. We get our boarding passes. Give the airport people our luggage, and then the luggage goes through this screening of getting on the airplane. So we're waiting in these lines, and then we go through the lines, go through the metal detectors, get checked out, get a creepy rub from some middle-aged person, and then after all of that, when we're cleared and they realize that we're not terrorists, then they go and send us on the other side. My mom, she for some reason likes to call it the gun line. Like, when we're past the gun line, then, I don't know, I think it's like a movie reference, but yeah, she says, like, so once you're past the gun line, Then yeah, past all that stuff, the lines, the screenings, and all that stuff. Then you're in the area where the terminals, restaurants, a bunch of different places. Yeah, so it's cool once when you get on the other side. And yeah, they got like my go-to place is the McDonald's, because I go and take the SeaTac airport, and so I go to I go to McDonald's, get my bacon and egg biscuit sandwiches, and yeah, I just sit there, eat on those, drink me some chocolate milk, and then just wait for my plane. But that's like I take morning flights, so I don't sleep that night. I just usually I just stay up and record videos because I want to sleep on the plane, and I know people are like, oh, if you're taking like a two, because from Washington State to California, and if I was like going to Anaheim, then yeah, that's like a 2 hour like flight, maybe 2.5 hours. I don't really know, but anyways, it's not that long of a flight. But I know people are like, bro, you sleep on the plane. There's times when I can't. I hate that. That's why I hate so much about flying, because once I get on the plane and I get tired and I'll wake up at like the halfway point and I can't go back to sleep. And plus, like, them seats are all uncomfortable. Like, I can't just like lay back in the seat. Like, the way they got you positioned, like, it looks like I'm looking like down or looking forward or something. I'm like, man, obviously I am, but me, I want to just like kick back and sleep. And then it's like the seats are so close, so I can't like push my legs out, or like if it's not then like how it is on the bus. Like, if you're on a bus, then yeah, I could sleep perfectly fine on the bus, but unless somebody's like bumping me and things. But like, yeah, if I'm like on the plane, I for some reason cannot sleep, so I'm tired once. So I'm like, and I think that's probably why I don't really like traveling that much, because I always be tired. But I'm like, I can't sleep. I know I don't want to sleep. Maybe I should do it the other way around. Maybe I should go to sleep and then wake up and then try sleeping on the airplane. Or just, I don't know, take some freaking sleeping pills or something. Because I'm like, man, I really do not like being awake. Because, though, the reason why I don't like being awake on the plane, because I know everybody's going to be all like, oh, why don't you? So, my ears pop, and they pop bad. Seriously, like, and what does that mean when your ears pop? Pretty much your ears start making these, like, cracking noises, but you have the worst, like, head pain ever. And I seriously don't know, like, how to prevent it, but it is the most painful thing ever. It seriously, there's times where I'm flying and it feels like somebody's, like, drilling my head. And I'm like, bro, I don't know why everybody just assumes my family, they just think, like, these family trips is good to go on these every year. But I'm like, no, that head pain, I seriously cannot deal with that every single time. That's why my family, I'm like, they ask me if I'm excited, and I just be like, with just the, like, most annoyed look on my face, like, I'm not. Like, yeah, it's cool, like, we're gonna be chilling in these, like, places and things, but I seriously just want to be asleep in my room. I'd rather, like, honestly, I'd rather be home making YouTube videos. Like, that's, like, I'd rather be home making YouTube videos. I'd honestly, like, there's parts of Seattle that I don't even know about yet. Let's just take a road trip to downtown Seattle. I'm like, dang, man. I'm like, man, these trips, seriously, it'd be all that time, like, just doing all of that. But then, like, once you get to the place, because I know, like, this last time around when I went to Disneyland, for some odd reason, like, it was a lot better than the last times I went. I don't know. Maybe it was just like, because I don't really want to like get into what happened. Let's just say it was some issues going on in Disneyland. And no, it wasn't like the family issues where we were out there fist fighting each other. But I say that a couple of arguments got started and things. But anyways, no, this last time though, like when I went, no, the one place that I do like going to though is Vegas. Vegas is my go-to place. Like, seriously, I don't know why, but I really love the scenery of Vegas. I don't like all the monks and the like strippers standing around asking me, oh, would you like to take a picture? All you gotta do is tip us. I don't like those people, but I love Vegas. I like the 2 times I went to Vegas. So the first time I went to Vegas, it was funny because I was underage trying to gamble. So I was on these slot machines. And, 19 at the time. So anyways, on the slot machines, I could have sworn this small little woman that stood behind me had to been like a spy or a snitch at the air, or not at the airports, but in the casino, because I'm on the slot machine and my family's standing around me. All of a sudden, this like small little woman comes up from behind me and she's just watching, and I'm like, I don't know you, but all right, like I guess you can watch me and things. Weird, but all right. Then all of a sudden, it's like hotel security or somebody. They walk up on me and they're all like, "Oh, can I see your ID?" So I'm like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, sure," and things. And the thing we were gonna tell the people at the casino, or yeah, at the casino, was that like back in our hometown, it's 18 to gamble and stuff. So that's what we thought what was here too and things, and so that's what we said. And so other than that, like, so we're like, I'm giving him an ID. He radios in a cop. So a cop shows up there with this like them like running dogs that be going around the tracks and things, chasing little the little rabbit thing. But I'm like, why they got a dog? Like, you really think I'm gonna run? Like what am I running for? I guess maybe people be running and things, but I'm like, dang, like, no, like, now that I ain't seen, I mean, yeah, the cop was like, intimidating enough, but now the dog, like, yeah, I'm scared now. Like, what is gonna happen? And so, anyways, yeah, they let me off with a warning. They were just all like, oh yeah, don't you had to be 21 to gamble, can't gamble anymore. And so, anyways, I went out there again when I was over the age. I think, what was it? No, it wasn't last year, because that's what I think or it wasn't. I think it was the year before. But yeah, I turned I was over 21 and things, or I think I was 21. But yeah, went out there, had me some drinks, drank me some Red Bull, freaking gambled, watched some movies. Like, no, we were staying in the Caesar's Palace. So the Caesar's Palace, it's really, really nice in there. Expensive, but it's really, really nice in there. And yeah, just sitting around, just watching TV. But no, I remember the first time I went to Vegas, it was pretty cool. There was like some movies that I had watched. There was this Owen Wilson movie I watched. It was him and his brother Luke Wilson. They were like, man, that movie was hilarious. Had me cracking up in the middle of the night. But that was fun. That was fun. And then what else? I've been to Louisiana. Louisiana is pretty cool. I went out there to visit family, and then of course Disneyland. Universal Studios is pretty fun. But yeah, it's like going to the place, cool. But in the airport process, I just do not like it. I don't. I really, really don't. And then so when you're coming back, and then there's like the process of like, cause there's like this a process I feel like I should mention. But so when you land and then you're either at home or at the location that you're going to, then you gotta get your luggage. And that's gonna take some time, because I don't know why it's like they got like actually no, let me start from the beginning. So you land. Then there's times where I'm like sitting in the far back or in the middle, but it takes forever the people to just get up, grab their stuff, and just walk off. You got like, I don't know why it takes so long, but I'm sitting there just waiting like, dang, like, can y'all just grab your stuff and just walk off? Like, why is it taking so long and things? Like, this shouldn't take this long. But anyways, I'm like, man, like, seriously, like, just throw the stairs down, like, do what y'all gotta do to get people off this airplane. But seriously, people, all y'all need to do, like, I don't know why, like, on a bus, you just stand up, walk out. On a plane, people, I don't know what be going on, but I'm like, man, like, can we just hurry up and get off? Because I don't even want to be on this plane anymore. My head hurts. I'm like, I'm done with this, all right? So then get off the plane. Go, and then there's times you gotta go to the bathroom, so you go to the bathroom and things, and so you sitting there waiting for your luggage to be dropped off on these little spinning around circle things. And once we're there, on that, so once you get your luggage and stuff, then you're waiting for either a shuttle, a Uber driver, somebody to come pick you up, take you to the hotel. And then after that, then yeah, you get to have some fun. And then I have to say, I don't know why, but when I'm leaving the location, so if I'm leaving Disney, I don't know why, but it seems like it's faster, or it's like a lot better and things. Like, I don't know why, but I'm like at SeaTac, I'm like, it just takes so long. And so I'm like, yeah, when I'm at SeaTac, like when I was in Vegas, California, all these other different places, it seemed like it was like, got my stuff gone, off up in the plane, air, everything's gone. And then like yeah, SeaTac, like it just like it takes forever for them to land. It takes forever for the people to get off the planes. It takes forever for people to grab their luggage. Then then the Uber drivers, then they take forever to go and get you and things. I'm like, bro, like seriously, man, I can't wait until I get home. Then yeah, when I get home, then it's like all cold in the house, and so I'm sitting there trying to like warm up and things, and I'm like, man, this whole flying thing, I'm like, I just love when I'm like touched down and I'm like home, and I'm just like, yeah, I love that feeling of being home. Like yeah, it's just I don't know why, but I'm like right now, I love what's going on right now. I love that I'm at my house. Cause it's like then you're like yeah you're at the hotel and you're sleeping on different beds. Like my bed might be smaller, but I feel more comfortable sleeping in my own bed. So it's yeah. I don't like traveling that much. I think that's overall the whole episode of this podcast. Like I don't really like traveling that much, but I guess to support my family, travel as much as I can, I guess. But I'm like, dang man, like I don't know why it's like I'd rather just fly a plane in video games and then just jump out and then just land in a parachute. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I just want to stay home sometimes. But once I start buying things, like once I start shopping around, I think then that's when I start feeling happy. Like I went to Vegas. I remember I bought some shoes. I could have won these Yeezys when I went to California because they had like this. There's a sneaker store like down the street from California, and I was like, I went in there and they had like these like those like crane machine like sneaker things, and so I was like, yeah, trying to get these Yeezys. I'm like, bro, if I get these $200 Yeezys for $30, all because I like managed to get the crane to pick up the shoe and things, I'm like, bro, I'm going to be the happiest person in California. So I was like, yeah, that was fun. I'm like, I didn't get the Yeezys, by the way. I was it's like I put like I think like $10 in there, and then the guy put 20 in there, and he seemed like I was getting stressed out. I had a family standing around. I'm like, all right, like if somebody goes and they say, oh, I gotta be a certain age, I'm like, okay, well I'm over the age. I'm like, unless there's a guy, you gotta be an older age and things to get some sneakers, but I'm over the age. I'm over 21 to get these shoes. So I don't want y'all sitting there trying to say I'm not. But anyways, yeah, traveling ain't really my thing. So for those out there all like, oh, you should do like a traveling vlog. No. Like, yeah, like if it's like if I could take a bus there, then cool. Like, yeah, like bus, train, all right, cool. But if I can't do all that, then yeah, I'm done. Like they need to make a train that goes to Washington all the way to California. Because I'm like, if there's a train that can do that, then you know what? I think we can do a vacation or like a trip vlog and things. But other than that, planes, I don't like planes that much. Not at all. And plus, like, trains, well, I know, like, I've never really been on a train before, like, traveling back and forth to places. But on a plane, yeah, it's small in there. But trains, like, I be seeing those, like, little booths that they be having. And I'm like, bro, if there's a train that got something like that, I'm like, you know what? I definitely do a train vlog, but no plane vlogs. Now, I don't like doing all that stuff. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. So thank you guys for watching. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Subscribe to my other YouTube channels. And if you're viewing this on a podcast, like streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek for the first time, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it'll knock $20 off your first purchase. So, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.